The British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is facing a growing rebellion from inside his own political party. As many as 20 Conservative members of Parliament say they plan to submit letters of no confidence in Johnson tomorrow. That's according to the British newspaper, the Daily Telegraph. 54 letters are required to trigger a no-confidence vote in Parliament. Prime Minister Johnson has faced calls to resign after reports that number 10 Downing Street hosted parties over the past 2 years. The events were held when the United Kingdom government imposed strict COVID restrictions on gathering. In an interview today, Prime Minister Johnson said nobody told him that the parties would break COVID rules, insisting they were work events. But one of his former top aides claims flat out he's lying. Local coverage now from our sister network Sky News and their reporter Beth Rigby in London.
So they don't need to be here.
The Prime Minister out in plain sight for the first time in days.
So you see it looks like something from outer space, but really it's the optic nerve.
But the optics around him are terrible, and the nerves visible from a man now under serious pressure. On a tour of a hospital today, the result he's waiting for is the outcome of Sue Gray's investigation into lockdown parties at Downing Street. The revelations keep coming. And the latest from his former top advisor turned foe, Dominic Cummings, accusing the PM of lying about what he knew, is significant. He is on the record saying under oath, you are lying, that you were warned about this event and you went ahead anyway, that you knew that it was dodgy.
Categorically, that nobody told me and nobody said that this was something that was against the rules, that was a breach of the COVID rules, or we were doing something that wasn't a work event, because frankly I don't think I can't imagine why on earth it would have gone ahead or why it would have been allowed to go ahead.
The idea that you walked into the garden, there's 40 people there, the tables are laid out with food and drink and there's alcohol being served in the middle of a lockdown, and you think that's a work event, that is just ludicrous, isn't it? You are just taking the mickey out of the British people by suggesting that. You know how silly that sounds, don't you?
I think what people need to do is wait and see what the report says. But I repeat my deep apologies to people for mistakes that may have been made on my watch.
One misjudgment that really hurts: the apology to Her Majesty the Queen over parties allegedly held in Downing Street the night before Her Majesty sat alone at the funeral of her husband. Was having to apologise to the Queen about those parties the night before she put her husband of over 70 years, she laid him to rest. Was that a moment of shame for you?
I deeply and bitterly regret that happened.
Do you think you can recover from this? You might be able to survive, but can you recover? Your polling is terrible. The public think you should go. Your MPs are in revolt. 6 of them have publicly said you should resign.
Beth, I understand people's feelings, and I understand why people feel as strongly as they do about this issue. I'm heartily sorry for misjudgments that were made in number 10.
Right now, he's in the most acute fight of his political life and wondering whether he can hang on. Beth Rigby, Sky News.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.